world's most ancient landscape. In the place where we were born. Two women are about to make remarkable journeys. One will leave the city to give birth in her spiritual home. The other will leave the country in pursuit of the life she lost. This is where we were born. No matter what color your skin, no matter what your race, your roots are here. This is the planet's most stable landmass. A huge continent, more than 3 times the size of the United States. This is Africa. And this is Africa's dominant landscape. These open plains are the world's largest tropical grasslands, the East African savanna. 4 million years of human evolution happened here. Our early ancestors walked on these plains. And just 100,000 years ago, a handful of them are believed to have started a journey which would take humans into every corner of the globe. Every country on Earth is populated by the descendants of those first migrants. Those early African travelers are our common ancestors. Because there were so few of them, the gene pool that left Africa was far smaller than that which remained. Despite appearances, there can be a greater genetic difference between 2 Africans from the same town than between 2 foreigners from opposite sides of the globe. The continent they left has staked its place in the 21st century. Some of the fastest growing cities in the world are in Africa. Yet 2 out of every 3 Africans still rely on the land for their livelihood. Even among city dwellers, the influence of the land runs deep. Alice Wangui lives in East Africa. She's expecting her second child, but she wants to give birth away from the city of Nairobi, back in her people's spiritual home. With less than a week to go before the baby is due, Alice's doctor isn't happy about her plans. But Alice doesn't want to hear it.
Everything was okay? Yes, everything was okay. Okay. Have you ever been admitted to any of the hospitals in Nairobi more recently?
No.
No.
The doctor is concerned about the journey Alice wants to make and the standard of medical care available once she gets there.
Did your doctor tell you the kind of problems you might face because of the kind of facility they have in Karatina as opposed to the ones which are in Nairobi Hospital here?
Okay, I want my kids to know home and to follow their culture.
Alice is Kikuyu, the largest of all Kenya's ethnic groups. Land is the single most important factor in the life of her people. That's why Alice wants to go home.
The importance of me going to Nyeri, it's because I want my kid to follow the culture and to know where maybe he or she came from and to follow the climate for Nyeri, not to be a Nairobi dweller. I want her to be a real Kikuyu.
Alice is a single mother. Although she has made her life in the city, she still feels the pull of her Kikuyu roots, much as her mother did and her son Scott is likely to do. Alice made the same journey back to Nyeri when she was pregnant with Scott, determined that he would be brought up in the traditional Kikuyu way. For Alice, to be born in Nairobi means you come from nowhere. Cities are the same all over the world. She believes that only by getting back to the land can you truly understand your history. Alice and Scott live in East Africa, on the edge of the Great Rift Valley, where our human ancestors may well have originated. They are surrounded by the open plains of the Savannah. They live here in Nairobi, Kenya's capital city. Alice runs a hairdressing parlor in the center of town.
Sasa Alice, mbona hujaenda nyumbani na naona una tumbo bado imekuchokesha?
Gani? Lazima niache nimemaliza kazi yangu and I have to make clear everything is okay.
Oh yes. Maybe you are looking for more money, isn't it?
Yes, to make my bill cleared.
To me, I can't.
I'm a Kikuyu.
Me, I'm a Maasai. I can't overwork my body. I know it's not good to travel when you are like that. Don't you think you can give birth on the way?
It's not possible.
Why? How do you know?
Mtoto akuji hivyo rahisi.
Eh.
I might wear my 3 panties. Itazuia.
What about the father of the child?
I'm a single mother.
How did you get it?
Don't worry. Let's talk about the hair.
The trip is weighing on Alice's mind.
Scott, you have to put them in order.
She decides it's time for her and Scott to start packing.
Scott, you know we are going where? Scott? And your clothes? Hakuna baridi. It's cold.
No.
I can't see. Kwa hivyo unapenda? You have to start packing. How many are you going to go with?
20.
5.
Tano.
Ndio. Alafu tutabeba zingine.
Alice's journey will take her through the grasslands that surround Nairobi. Yet this Africa, the Africa of nature documentaries, is as far away from